So I'm assuming a lot of us have been walking and or running. And so if that has been you, I'm feeling a little bit of tightness in the front of my hips and hamstrings. So we're gonna do some back bends today. And those of you that know me on the regular basis, Fridays are my special days. We usually do 5 of everything. I don't think we have that kind of time. Let's get started. So if you have a block, I'd love you to sit on a block in Virasana. And turn the block so it is wide enough so that both your sit bones feel rooted onto the block. And if you don't have a block, ignore that comment. Sit comfortable in a cross-legged seat. And then just take a moment. Let's actually turn the palms to face down. Slide your hands back to where your thighs and your hips meet. Push your hands into the weight of your legs. And then inhale, climb and lift your spine up out of your legs. Like you could just inch your spine tall. And then relax the shoulders, exhale, let it go out the mouth. Let's just do that again. As you inhale, push your hands into your thighs and try to inch and lift your waist and your spine and your ribs up. Relax the shoulders and exhale, let that go out the mouth. And then I said that was it, but let's just do one more. Inhaling. Push down and then feel the spine, every vertebrae get a little taller. Keep the length you just created as you exhale, relax the shoulders away from the ears. And then just take a couple smooth cycles of breathing in and breathing out. And just observe if you're a little bit more interested in the inhale shape or the exhale shape. And it doesn't matter which one you're interested in, but see if you can't bring a little bit of presence and awareness to both. A sense of evenness to both. And so that we find balance through the rich fullness of our inhales and the letting go of our exhales. And then when you're ready, blink your eyes open. Go ahead and reach your arms forward in space, interlace your fingers, flip your palms, let your elbows get straight, and carry those straight arms all the way up towards the sky. And then just take a side stretch. Reach your arms over towards the right. And then inhale, come back up and go over to the other side. And then inhale, come back up. And then release the palms so the fingers reach towards the ceiling. Lift the pinky fingers a little higher to the sky and feel the inner borders of your shoulder blades soften away from the ears. There's a sense of the bottom tips of the shoulder blades wrap forward and then in to climb the spine a little taller to the sky. And then all you're going to do is as you exhale, twist. So left hand to your outer right knee and just reach your right arm back to the wall behind you. Turn the palm to face the wall you're facing. Use that left hand to push against the right leg and feel how that left arm moves into the shoulder socket. And then as you inhale, can you lift more to the left side of the waist? And as you exhale, can you roll your right collarbone, your right shoulder, your right fingertips apart? So I want you to deepen the twist from your navel through your ribs, like you're coiling up your spine out through the right chest all the way through the fingertips. Now keep your body twisting. And then just turn your chin towards your left shoulder. And as you do that, maybe there's a sense of your chin looking down. Can you pull your right arm back a little bit more? Can you open up the right shoulder, beautiful Heather, a little bit more? Take another full breath in. And then swing both arms forward up towards the sky as you inhale. And then exhale, second side. So right hand to your left leg, left arm back behind you. And as that left arm reaches towards the wall, there's a sense of trying to hold on to something, pulling it closer towards you. Notice if you leaned into the right rib. So as you inhale, can you lift up to the right side of the waist? And as you exhale, spin, roll the left collarbone all the way out to the left pinky. Let the reach of the arm be an opportunity to create more deepening of the twist. And then oftentimes a little bend into that straight elbow helps you find the back body. Stay in that twist and then just turn your chin towards your right shoulder and maybe even turn the chin to look down. Can you do that and still reach for the left fingertips? Beautiful. One more breath in. Pull and open up that left collarbone, that left pec. And then swing your left arm forward to meet your right. Inhale, arms rise up towards the sky. And exhale, release. And go ahead and come up onto your knees and your shins. And then just interlace your fingers behind your back. Press more into your feet than you are into your knees, and you'll feel your hamstrings turn on. And then just start to slide your fingers down your back, down your hamstrings. And then rather than leaning back, can you actually start to lift your chest up? Just so you get a little opening and yawning across the front body. And as the arms weight down to the backs of the knees, can you press your feet further into the floor? And then start to lift your chest a little higher towards the sky. And then just turn your head towards the right. And as you do that, pull the left shoulder back. And then inhale, come back to center. Feel the knitting of the ribs as you turn your head to the other side. Again, so we're not leaning back, we're literally lifting up. And then inhale, come back to center. Reach both arms forward, hook your thumbs, High Dana. Feel the hip points lifting, the bottom ribs anchoring. So I want you to try to get short in the front of your waist. And then just slowly inhale, hinge your hips back. And then press down into your feet, exhale, come back up. Good. And again, inhale, hinging back. So your feet press more. Feel the opening of the front of the quads, the front of the hips. And then exhale, press up. We'll do 3 more. Inhale, hinge. Notice when the low back wants to do the work. Gather the front body in and exhale up. 2 more. Inhaling. As you hinge back, lift the hip points, scoop the bottom ribs to the hips, and come forward. And last one, you guys. Inhale, hinge back. Hinge a little further back. Hinge a lot further back, yes. And then slowly come all the way up. Beautiful, you guys. Come onto your hands and knees. And just take a moment in tabletop position. Step your right leg back behind you. And just reach through the heel so you can just yawn out behind the back of that knee. Switch legs when you feel ready. And then let's just come into plank pose. And as you arrive in plank pose, press down into your first finger, knuckle, and thumb. Give a strong hug of the forearms together so that you can spread and open the collarbones apart. And there's a sense of trying to drag your hands towards your feet. Feel how that turns on your side ribs. Take another full breath in. And then hinge your hips back to go to downward facing dog. Let's take the feet as wide as the mat. Let's walk the hands all the way back to meet the feet. Grab a hold of your elbows, or if you feel like interlacing your fingers behind your back, do that. Put enough of a bend into the knees so there's a sense of sweet release through the backs of the legs. Switch the cross of the arms to the lace of the fingers. And then inhale, release the hands down to the floor. Reach the chest forward. And keep your feet wide as you walk your hands forward to your downward facing dog. Inhale, slide forward into a wide-legged plank pose. Press into your hands and feel the rebound up to the bottom ribs. Come onto your right fingertips. Notice how the pelvis tips to the left. So I want you to anchor the outer right hip down. Feel both feet anchor into the floor, especially your right foot. And then slowly start to just walk your right hand forward in space. Notice the connection from your right hip all the way through your right fingertips, and then extend that right arm away from you. I know it feels like you want to lift your left foot off the floor, but can you keep both feet rooted into the mat? Let your outer right hip roll to the earth as you reach through your right fingertips and place the right leg back down. Good. Pause here. Take an inhale, and then come onto your left fingertips. Notice how the hips tip to the right. So I want you to actively wrap the left hip down. Feel both feet press into the earth. Start to just walk your left fingertips forward. This side's gonna feel different. Maybe it's your easier side. And this might be enough, or you reach the left arm forward. Can you wrap the left shoulder blade down? Can you spin and lift the bicep up? And then from your 2 feet, especially your left leg, reach through the left fingertips. Beautiful work. Release the left hand down, downward facing dog, exhale. Good, feel free to walk your feet so they're a little bit more classically hip distance apart now.
Hey, Tiff, you
Right
got a
leg.
focus problem, just so you know.
I know, but luckily you guys can hear me, so you don't have to look on the screen.
Okay, just letting you know.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Inhale, lift your right leg up towards the sky. Go ahead and open up your hips, bend your knee. I'll do my best to be as specific as possible, as if that was different than any other day. Square it off to center. And then exhale, bring your right knee in to touch your nose. Shift forward, shoulder stack right over the wrists. Step your right foot forward between your hands. You're gonna lower your left knee down to a low lunge. Point your left toes. Inhale, reach the arms up towards the sky. So hook the thumbs, you guys, and I don't care which one you hook, but as you press into your back foot, just like we did in that early Virasana, press your back foot down more than the knee. And then actively try to lift your left hip point up. So it feels like, in a sense, like you're tucking. I know that's a no-no word, but just try to scoop and lift your left hip up higher. And then side stretch over towards the right. As you side stretch to the right, can you continue to push into your left foot? And try to isometrically drag your left foot forward while lifting your left hip up. And then inhale, come all the way back up. Release your hands down to the floor. Lift your back knee up off the mat. And then let's take it into the twist. So right arm to the sky, left hand down to the floor. Your left shoulder blade, it pulls into the back body so that the neck is soft and free. And then from your back leg, use it just like you did in the low lunge. From your left hip, coil and reach all the way up to the right fingertips. I want you to keep your right arm reaching to the sky and then just look down at your left hand. So you get a little stretch through the neck. And then release your right hand down to the floor. Keep your legs this wide, straighten your front leg, exhale. And stay on your fingertips if you need to. I want you to flex your right foot. And then those of you that would like a little bit more, you can grab a hold of your foot with one of your hands and pull the toes back, so it kind of deepens the sensation of stretch to the calf muscle. Chest forward. Notice if when I said chest forward, you used your chin. Can you actually lengthen the front of your spine, open up your collarbones? Release the foot with your hands if you have it. Bend your front leg, step to your plank pose, and downward facing dog pose. Inhale, lift your left leg up towards the sky, open up your hips, bend your knee, kind of yawn out the week. And then as you square everything off to center, exhale, bring your left knee in to touch your nose. Shift forward, stack your shoulders right over the wrists. Beautiful. And then step the foot forward between your hands. Right knee lowers to the floor as you inhale, reach your arms up towards the sky. And then hook the opposite thumb if you can remember. Try not to lose sleep about it if you don't. Press your right foot down into the floor. That's your back leg. And try to slide your right foot forward in space. That's going to help you lift your right hip point up. Keep that, side stretch over towards the left. And so there is a sense of letting the hips shift forward, but against that, can you still feel that your right thigh is moving back against the lift of the hips? So it's not just a superficial stretch, but it's deep into those hip flexors. And then inhale, come all the way up. Release your hands down to the floor. Lift your back knee up, we'll take it into the twist. Find the strength through your back foot, just like you did in the low lunge. Lift up to the right thigh and lengthen the right hip, right waist forward. And as you open and lean onto that right shoulder blade, you guys lean back a little bit more, Janine, and then look down to your right hand. So you get that same opening through the neck. Beautiful. Release both hands down to the floor, straighten your front leg, exhale. And then just notice what it's like with your foot pointed or flat. And then flex your foot and see what you gain, if anything. And maybe you grab a hold of behind the foot if you did on the first side. Chest forward from your navel, through your collarbones. Nice, Gary. Bend your front leg, plant your hands flat, step to your plank. Exhale, we're gonna shift forward, lower chaturanga. Let's go all the way down to the floor. Point your toes. Press into your feet. Inhale, reach the chest forward, baby cobra. And then exhale, lower back down. Again, feel your feet press, feel your hands press. Inhale, lengthen. Try to pull your hands and your elbows back. Keep that as you lower down. And then 2 more. Hands press, feet press. Inhaling. And exhale, lower. Nice work, you guys. And 1 more. Inhale. Pause this time as you exhale. See if you can't lift your hands an inch off the floor. And as you do that, there's this feeling that you're still pushing your hands down. Try sliding your hands back so your wrists are under your elbows. Then check in with your hip points and your pubic bone. Press that into the floor, and can you scoop and lift the low navel up? Lower all the way down, exhale. Beautiful work, you guys. Come into Sphinx pose. Reach your right leg so far back it lifts up off the mat. And now bend your right knee. So your right foot is lifting towards the sky. Notice the press to your left foot. And then slowly, with your right leg bent, reach back with your right hand and grab a hold of the right foot. Recommit to your left foot pressing. You'll have to lower your chest. Reach back with your left hand and grab a hold of the right foot. And now flex that right foot, kick the right leg back, and lift the chest and the shoulders up. Can you move the shoulders from the ground to the ceiling? Lengthen the collarbones forward. You have 1 more inhale. And then slowly release. Come back to your Sphinx pose. Press into your right foot as you extend your left leg back behind you. Feel the hamstring and your outer glutes firm to lift the leg. Bend your left knee. Reach back with your left hand and grab a hold of the left foot. Roll your left chest forward. Then you'll have to lower the chest to reach back with your right hand and grab the foot. Anchor into your right leg. Lift your left knee first, then lift to kick the leg back. Use the strength and power of your hamstring of the left leg to lengthen the chest forward. Beautiful. Nice, Jenny. And then slowly release. Beautiful, you guys. Feet to the floor. Curl your toes under. Hands to the floor. Press all the way to plank pose. And pull your hips back to downward facing dog. And then go ahead and walk your feet forward to meet your hands. Inhale, find your Ardha Uttanasana. Pull the shoulders onto the back body. And exhale to fold. Good, let's do that again, you guys. Inhale, as you reach the chest forward. Could you shift a little bit more weight into the fronts of the heels? And then exhale, fold again. Hands to your hips. Put a bend into your knees. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. Exhale at the top, arms by your side. Just take a moment and feel what a little bit of movement and a little breathing does for the body, for the brain. Inhale, arms reach up towards the sky. As you exhale, hinge at the hips, fold forward. Use the inhale, open up the front spine. Plant your hands fully flat as you step to your plank pose. Keep the chest open as we shift forward to lower chaturanga. Into the back bend, whether that's baby cobra or up dog. Shoulder heads back, everybody. And downward facing dog. Exhale, breathe in. And breathe out. Good. Let the spread of the shoulders give you a sense of lifting the chest higher off the floor. And then as you do that, can you send those hips back towards your heels? I want you to stand more into the legs than you are into your arms. Full breath in. As you bend your knees deeper, look forward, step or hop to the top of the mat. Open to lengthen. Fold to exhale. We rise, inhale. Strong legs. Lift up to the front and back body. And bring it in, exhaling. Beautiful, you guys. One more together. Inhale, arms reach up. Hinge, fold forward, exhaling. Inhale, we open. From the length of the legs, reach the chest forward. Can you step back to plank opposite leg? Exhale, slowly we shift forward to lower chaturanga. Arms drag back. Into your back bend, very nice, Janine. Shoulder blades in to lift the chest. And downward facing dog. Could you spread the shoulders while straightening the arms? Could you hug those triceps in a little bit more? So the triceps wrap towards the nose. Yes, Catherine, that was it. Let the back of your neck widen and then push your hips way back. Inhale, right leg lifts as you breathe in. Exhale, step the right foot forward between your hands. Adjust your feet right to left, you guys, so that you have a better balance, and then reach your arms straight back to the wall behind you. Stay as low to your front thigh as you can. Turn the palms to face in if you haven't already, and then try to bend your elbows a little bit. And as your elbows bend, can you lift your hands higher than your shoulders? Beautiful. And then reach from your shoulder heads, reach all the way back to the fingertips. Let the collarbones open. I want you to keep that opening through the chest as you reach your arms forward and rise it all the way up to your crescent pose. Go ahead, exhale at the top. So when the arms go up, they connect from the hip points. In fact, when the arms go up, they connect from the sacrum, the lowest part of your spine. So include the entire back of your body to lift the pinkies a little higher to the sky. And against that, can you allow the thumbs to soften the arms deep into the shoulder sockets? And then check in and notice if you're leaning back into your lumbar spine, could you actively work from your back foot, heel up, firm and lift your inner back knee up, and then work to lift your left hip up. Inhale, straighten your front leg. Exhale, open to the right, wide arms twist. So as you hug your ankles in, feel the lift from the inner back knee, the lift from the left hip point, and then coil the ribs all the way to the right fingertips. Now I'm going to invite you to either stay here, or could you start to turn your head towards your left fingertips? Notice how that changes your balance. Lift the low belly, lift the pelvis, and reach back more with your back arm. And then slowly bring your right arm to meet your left. Inhale, arms rise. Bend your back leg back to your crescent pose. Bring your two hands to your hips. Take a full breath in. Use your fingers to actively lift your hip points up. And then slowly lower your back knee so it's just an inch off the floor. So you have two right angles, right leg fully bent, left leg fully bent. Pull your back heel forward, yes. Lift your back hip up. And then could you lift your back leg to straighten it? And then exhale slowly, we lower it. Does it have to affect your front leg? Can you keep your front leg low? And then inhale, straighten your back leg again. Good, and then just one more. Lower it, lift the pelvis, lift the back ribs, and then to straighten. Soften the neck, reach the arms to the sky, full breath in. And then release, hands to the mat. Step to your plank, vinyasa or dog, exhale. Beautiful, you guys. Take a full breath in. Extend your left leg back behind you. As you exhale, step the left foot forward between your hands. Adjust your feet as you need to, right to left, and then reach both arms back to the wall behind you. And so as the arms reach back, let it be an action. Let it be a movement. Reach with the pinky fingers as you bend those elbows. Notice how that coils the collarbones more forward. Can you do that and still allow the back of the neck to soften? And then slide those arms forward as you rise it all the way up to your crescent pose. Exhale at the top. Front leg fully bent. Yesterday we worked a lot on the hamstring of the front leg, so rework the thigh pulling back. But for today, let's work what's happening in your back leg. Lift your heel up, Lift your inner back knee a little firmer and straighter. And then from the back leg, starting to lift your right hip, let it pull you to straighten your front leg. So now both legs are straight. Take an inhale, nice Anthony. And then exhale, twist towards the left. Just notice how it throws you off balance from your ground. The energy through both legs is sucking all the way up to your inner thighs. Could you reach more with your left arm? Pull with the left arm so much, yes, Jody, that was perfect, so that you feel the opening through the left collarbone. And then lift more through the right knee, the right hip. Take another full breath in. Slowly bring your left arm forward to meet your right, arms to the sky. And then bend your front leg back to crescent pose. Take a full breath here. Bring your two hands to your hip points. Use your fingers, lift and buckle the hip points up. And then slowly bend your back leg. Let it hover just an inch off the floor. Hug your ankles in, hug your shins in, and feel a lift to the inner thighs, which is where your core begins. More at your roots, but we'll take that another day. Work your right hip a little higher, and then inhale, straighten your back leg by firming and lifting the knee. And then slowly we lower it. And then inhale to straighten it. Beautiful. One more, you guys. Slow, lower it. Keep lifting right hip up. And then work to straighten your back leg. Now reach both arms to the sky, full crescent. Inhale. And then release. Hands to the mat, step to your plank. Definitely cleanse that out with a vinyasa as you exhale. Breathing in and breathing out. Rise high up onto the balls of the feet, you guys. As you do that, feel how your forearms lifted. I want you to keep that. Bend your knees a lot, look forward, and try hopping to the top of the mat. Inhale is your Ardha. Exhale, we fold. Deep into the chair pose, Utkatasana. And press all the way up to stand. And bring it into your heart, exhale. Let's do one Surya Namaskara B. Inhale, bending the knees, get low with the legs. Hands to the floor, then we fold. Inhale to open. Hands fully flat as you step back or jump back, Chaturanga. Into the back bend as you inhale. And downward facing dog as you exhale without the leg lift. Right foot forward, back heel spins. We rise on the inhalation. Let's breathe here for 5 breaths, you guys. Can you still feel the ankles firming, the shins hugging? And then work your back leg. Could you get your back leg firmer, straighter? Lift up to the inner back knee. And then that left hip point, can you lift up and lengthen through the left ribs a little higher to the sky? Last breath in, maybe the gaze lifts the chest. Nice, Kate. And then hands to the mat. Chest stays open as you step back. We lower Chaturanga. Inhaling, shoulder heads behind you. And exhaling. Left foot forward, back heel spins. Inhale, we rise all the way up to Warrior One. And then work to sit low into the root of your front thigh so that you can be aware of what you need to focus on in your back leg. And from that strong, straight back leg, lift up to the right hip, lift up through the right ribs, and then carry both straight arms all the way up. Can you lift a little bit more through the back body? One more breath. And release, hands to the mat. Step to your plank. However you'd like to get to your dog as your exhale. Right leg lifts as you inhale. Exhale, step the right foot forward between your hands. We're going to lower the left knee down to the mat. Take a moment here. Shift your hips forward. And then at the same time, I want you to pull your right thigh back. So double up your mat or grab padding if you need to. We're just going to bend your left leg so the heel lifts towards the sky. Whew, hello hamstring. And as you continue to bring your left foot towards your left sit bone, can you try to lift your left hip point up against that work? Reach back with your right hand and grab a hold of your left foot. And if you can hold on to the pinky toe side of that left foot, try bending your right arm and pulling your right elbow back. Roll the chest open to the sky. Feel a sense of twist here, and can you still hug your right knee in? Release the left foot down, both hands to the floor. Lift your back knee up off the mat, and we're gonna rise it up into crescent pose. And then spin your back heel down as you open it up to warrior two. Pausing just for a moment as you inhale, straighten your right leg. And exhale, shift forward into your triangle pose. Breathing in Trikonasana, ground into your right big toe. Could you pull your right outer thigh back a little bit more? Can you do that in a way so that your right hip drops down and rolls to the wall you're facing? And now work from your back foot. Hug the ankles in together. Allow your inner thighs to pull to your left leg, and then slide your left waist a little bit more into the midline so your right ribs move forward. And then keep your top arm reaching to the sky, look down. So here's that same neck stretch that we've been doing. Could you lift higher through the left collarbone, higher through the left fingertips, and then shift forward into your half moon. Try to keep the top arm reaching to the sky as you bend your front leg. And as you arrive in your half moon, find that same hugging of the ankles, even though one leg is off the floor. Could you work to lift your hip points up off your front thigh? And then go ahead and just rest your left hand on your side body. Try to keep your left knee where it is, as if it was against a wall. Could you use your hamstring and bend your lifted leg? And as you do that, start to lean the chest open, and maybe you grab a hold of the foot, maybe you stay right here. Kick the chest open by using the left leg to create a sense of opening through the front body. Use the hamstring of the back lifted leg to create a sense of opening through the front body. One more breath, you guys. Lengthen through the left hip all the way through the right waist. Release your left foot with control if you have it. Full Ardha Chandrasana, top arm to the sky. Take a big full breath here as you bend your standing leg, step way back into your triangle pose. Beautiful. Inhale, come all the way up to standing with both legs straight as you bend your front leg back to your warrior two. Feel your 2 feet ground, your back leg is firm as you reverse the warrior, inhaling. And then release. Both hands to the floor, step to your plank, and decide if it's better for you to step to dog, however you want to get back through the vinyasa. And then from downward facing dog, when you guys are ready, inhale, left leg lifts. As you exhale, step the left foot forward between the hands. Let's lower the right knee down to the mat. Take a moment, shift forward. Feel that it's the hips shifting you forward, but against that, can you pull your thighs back? And then if you need to double up your mat or grab padding, do that underneath your right knee. And then bend your right leg. Bring the heel up towards the sit bone. Notice how when the heel comes up, the hamstring engages, but can you lift your hip points a little higher? Keep the support of the low belly as you reach back with your left hand and grab a hold of the right foot. And then make this about a twist here. Make this about an opening across the shoulder while kicking the leg back. So if you can, you'll hold onto the pinky toe side of that right foot, bend that right elbow, and open up the left chest to the sky. Release the foot with control. Both hands to the mat as you lift your back knee up, and then we arrive in crescent pose. So stand strongly into your front leg as you hug your left leg in. Spin your right inner heel down to the floor to open it up to warrior two. And then as you inhale, let's straighten the front leg. Notice the awareness to your back leg more. Shift forward into your triangle pose. As you drive more into your right inner heel, can you let the inner thighs pull back? These look beautiful. Lengthen through the left side of your waist. And as you roll and reach the right fingertips up, go ahead and look down. And as you look down, drive the left shoulder onto the back body. Gather your ribs in as you do it. Lengthen through the left side of the waist. And then slowly start to shift forward as you bend your left leg. We'll move into half moon. Work your standing leg, yes. Hug ankles in. Feel the reach more through your lifted leg. And then stretch from that lifted leg, that right hip, all the way through the left chest, rolling to the sky. Let your right arm rest on your side body. As if you could keep your leg where it is in space, just use the hamstring to contract your right leg and grab a hold of the foot. Could you put enough of a bend into your standing leg so there's a sense of lift, a sense of buoyancy? Beautiful. Everybody try to put more weight back into your standing heel than you have forward in your hands. And then release the foot with control, full half moon. Right arm to the sky, right leg back behind you. As you start to bend your left leg, reach back with your right leg, slowly extend back to find your trico. Find the length. Oftentimes we get a little bit more longer stance, a little bit more length through the left ribs. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. Keep the lift through both sides of the waist as you bend your front leg back to your warrior two. Reverse the warrior as you inhale. Open through the left side. Nice. And then release. Hands to the mat. Step to your plank. However you'd like to get to dog as the exhale. Beautiful, you guys. Walk your hands all the way back to meet your feet. Peace fingers to your big toes. Straighten your arms, look forward. And exhale, fold. And as you fold here, can you hug your ankles in? Can you lift up through the inner thighs? And as the shoulders lift up towards the sky, feel the head drop. Feel the collarbones drop. Notice if you're shifting back into your heels, could you rock ever so slightly forward to the fronts of the heels? And then inhale, straighten your arms. Try not to let it affect your legs. Padahastasana, step on your hands. And then fold. And even here, press the toes down, lift the wrists, lift the elbows, create space in your joints. Inhale, reach the chest forward. Walk both hands forward to your downward facing dog. Go ahead and come onto your forearms and walk it out for forearm plank. So whether you have your hands interlaced or not, it's totally up to you. Do give a strong hug of those elbows into the midline. If this is enough, I want you to stay right here. Or work to lift your hip points a lot and extend your right leg back behind you. Let's point the toes of the right foot And then coil your chest forward, move your collarbones forward. And then bend your right knee, heel towards the sky. And as the heel of your right foot tries to touch the ceiling, feel that your hips are trying to lower. Notice when I said hips, did it also include your low back? So work to lift the right waist up a lot higher. Straighten your right leg. Exhale, place the right foot down. Good, left leg, let it extend. So it's a step-by-step process. You pause where you need to. Feel the left ribs lift to support the low back. Bend your left knee, heel towards the sky. Try to kick the foot up while moving your left hip point forward. Move the left ribs forward. You guys, these look great. Could you lift the leg a little higher without it affecting your lumbar spine? Straighten your left leg, place the foot down, and now start to walk your feet back so your shoulders are nowhere over your elbows. Go as far back as you like. Beautiful, you guys, very nice. And then push down through the wrists more than the elbows and try to pull your arms towards your feet. Feel your side body turn on. Feet press just as much as the hands. Chest coils forward to the fingertips. You have one more breath. And then slowly walk your feet in and lower into Sphinx pose. Walk your hands back. Upward facing dog is the inhalation. Make it so that you open up the front of the legs and lift the chest high. And downward facing dog, exhale. And then as you're ready, step your right foot forward between your hands. Hop the back foot in the smallest amount you need so both legs are straight. Hands to your hips. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. Interlace your fingers behind your back or reverse the prayer, whatever feels most appropriate for you. Feel the inner borders of the shoulder blades soften down. And then feel the breath lengthen the back ribs up. Can you stand more into your back foot and actively lift that left hip point up? Beautiful. Big inhale. And then fold forward as you exhale. Notice I said forward, not down. So let down be a result of the forward movement of the length. Try to keep your shoulders on your back body. Try to lengthen your collarbones past your front toe tips. Let your front spine get longer. And those of you that are very open in this direction, can you still lift the frontal hip points? Can you, everybody, breathe more breath across the back? If you're below 90, come up right halfway and pause. Spin onto the toes of the back foot as you bend your front leg. Stay low, stealth-like low. Shift forward into your third warrior. Beautiful, you guys. So big bend into your standing leg, but can you lift the frontal hip points and the front chest up? Keep that standing leg super bent and just hinge to fold into standing splits. Wherever you are with your hands, I want you to focus on your lifted leg. Could you point the toes of your lifted foot? Could you lift the lifted leg a little higher to the sky? Touch the ceiling with those left toes. Keep your left leg high as you release both hands to the floor. Look forward as you inhale. Stack your shoulders over your wrists and decide if you're going to step back or hop into a handstand. We'll all meet up in downward facing dog. And then from downward dog, you guys take a big full breath in. As you exhale, step your left foot forward between the hands. Hop the back foot in the smallest amount you need. Both legs are straight. Two hands to your hips. Hug left leg in as you rise it all the way up. Exhale at the top. Same variation with your hands. Either reverse the prayer or interlace the fingers. And feel the upright position for a moment. Feel if there's more weight on your front foot. Could you stand into your back foot? Let that right hip wrap forward. Let the right ribs wrap forward. A little bit more, Anthony. Lift the chest as you inhale. There you go. And then from your back leg, fold forward like you're looking over a cliff. There's these moments where your body shifts into your left foot. continue to pull back into your right leg. Let the foundation of your right foot be what allows you to lengthen your spine. Continue to open up the front of your spine just as much as the back. These look great, you guys. Feel the back of your neck long so your chin is soft. If you're below 90, come up right halfway. Start to spin onto the toes of the back foot. We'll bend the left knee. Notice how low you are. Keep that and just extend your right leg off the floor. Awesome. And now keep your standing leg bent, but can you feel the breath across the front of your chest to lift your spine parallel to the floor? Standing leg, keep it bent. Lifted leg, let's point the toes. So you could touch back. So you could reach back with those right toes. And then hinge forward into your standing splits. Hug your left leg in. Lift up to the inner right thigh. Both hands to the mat. The best way for you to get to downward dog. So you can play with hopping into a handstand, or you can step back, however you want to get to downward dog. Beautiful, you guys. Shift forward into your plank pose. Let's come into Vashisthasana left side. So if you're modifying today, go ahead and bring the right foot in front of you like a kickstand, so you can still work the left leg. And then bring your right arm to your side body. Feel the left shoulder blade open up the collarbones. Without moving your right knee, can you just find the strength of your hamstring and bring your right heel to your right sit bone? And then this might be enough. As you kick that right leg back behind you, you might decide that you want to grab a hold of the right foot with your right hand. Keep lifting up through the left side of the waist. Keep letting the left collarbone roll the right chest to the sky, and then maybe kick the leg back behind you. One more breath. Release the foot, come back to your plank pose. Let's go straight over to the second side pose, Vashisthasana right. And then just rest your left hand on your side body. Lean onto the right shoulder blade so there's a sense of opening through the chest. Bend your left leg, bring the heel towards your sit bone. Feel the power of your hamstring. Draw the frontal hip points together, and then reach back with your hand and grab the foot, maybe. As you grab the foot, rather than it being a shape, use the opening. Kick the leg back. Draw the hip points up. Create a bow and arrow through the left side of your waist. One more breath in. Release the foot with control. Find your plank, everybody. 2 feet, 2 hands. And then shift forward, lower together, Chaturanga. All the way to the mat. Bring your 2 hands to your bum. And let your fingertips just guide your tailbone towards your feet. With your head on the floor, forehead or chin, whatever's best for you, could you lift your shoulders to the sky? And then reach your legs so far back they lift. Notice the effect it has on your low back. Lift your belly. Press the pubic bone down, and then use the strength of your hamstrings to bend your legs again. I want you to keep your hands pressing your hips down to the floor. Inhale, lift your chest up. Pull your elbows back. And then could you lift your feet a little bit higher? Nice, Christina. Coil your collarbones forward. Everybody, lengthen the front spine through. And then without touching anything, reach both arms back behind you. Try to reach for the feet, but your feet are saying, nah, we're good here. And then let the power of the back body lift your chest up off the floor. Lift your chest a little bit higher. And then lower all the way down. Exhale. However you'd like to come into plank pose, so whether hands and knees or press straight up. and come into downward facing dog. Jump yourself through, come onto your backs. Let's set up for either bridge pose or Urdhva Dhanurasana. So if you're moving into bridge pose, go right ahead. If you're coming into Urdhva, we'll do the first one together. So with your feet on the mat, inhale, reach your arms up towards the sky. Bend your elbows, hands to the mat, fingers towards your shoulders. Let's take a moment just to pause here. Can you spread the shoulders apart and feel your chest get heavy to the earth? And then press into your hands and press into your feet. Move your chest towards your fingertips. Inhale, come onto the crown of the head, and can you pause here? Great opportunity to look at what your hands and your elbows are doing. And then move your knees towards your chest and let that be what lifts your head off the floor. So the forearms move towards your legs move towards the forearms, collarbones are wide. When you're ready, you'll lower down and you'll take a breath in and a long breath out. Good, I'd love you guys to do one more. Whichever variation you've chosen. Supported bridge out on the deck feels like a nice option. Nice, Abby. You guys, when you're done, you'll come onto your backs. Take the feet as wide as the mat. Let your knees drop in towards one another. And then as you let your knees drop in, could you reach your arms to the sky, cross your arms over your chest, and give yourself a hug? And breathe more breath across the back. Reach your arms up towards the sky, switch across the elbows as you hug the other way. And then go ahead and bring your legs into your chest for happy baby. Grab a hold of behind your thighs or the outside edges of your feet. Gomukhasana, the legs, cross the right knee over the left knee. And then keep the right knee over the left knee. Just let's take a twist. So let your knees drop over to the left. That right arm will open up to the side. Notice if there's more of an interest in what's happening in the low back and the outer hips. Could you also breathe that sense of feeling across the right chest, the right shoulder? If you have a healthy neck and no problems, and maybe you turn your head towards the left as you reach out through the right fingertips. Use your exhale, come back to center. And as you switch the cross of the legs, left leg over right, hug the knees into your chest for Gomukhasana. Feel the back of the neck soft. And then drop your knees over towards the right, simple twist here. Let that left arm tether away from you. Let the left arm be responsible for letting the left chest drop. And maybe again, if your neck is healthy, then you can turn your gaze towards the right while still extending through the left arm, the left shoulder. And then exhale, come back to center. Go ahead and hug both knees into your chest. Keep your right knee in your chest as you straighten your left leg on the mat. I want you to interlace your hands behind your right leg. And then push your knee forward and reach your straight right heel up towards the sky. So both legs are straight, any amount that works for you. This might be enough, but rather than bringing your right leg towards you, I want you to kick your right leg away from you. And then if you want more, you'll hover your left leg an inch off the mat. And there's a sense that your outer left hip is lifting. Your inner left thigh is releasing. And imagine there's a horseshoe from your left hip out through the left outer toes, lifting up through the inner arch of your left foot, and then sucking your left thigh deep into the hip socket. And if you want more, both arms to the sky and carry those straight arms up and overhead. And if you want more, lift your shoulders and your chest up. And keep the inner left leg releasing. Keep sending your right sit bone towards that left straight leg. Beautiful. Bring your right leg to meet your left. One breath. Hug both knees into your chest as you exhale. Good. And then straighten your right leg. And then interlace your hands behind your left knee. Push it forward. Lift that left leg up towards the sky. Reach through the heels. Let the entire back of your leg get long, and then maybe you hover your right foot an inch. You can use the feedback from the mat and the ground to tell you what's happening with your low back and your hips. Let that outer right hip release up and then drop down. Beautiful work. Maybe you add the arms and lift the arms up and overhead. And maybe that is enough, or maybe you lift your chest and your shoulders off the floor. Nice, Christina. Lift the shoulders up versus forward. Yes, Heidi. Beautiful, you guys. Hug the outer ankles, hug the outer thighs. And then slowly lower your left leg to meet your right leg. Could you reach through the heels? Pull the inner thighs away from you, Gary, navel to the spine. Hug both knees into your chest. Little rock and roll side to side. And then your choice. If you want to just reach your legs up towards the sky, if you want to take a final twist, check in and see if there's anything your body needs. Maybe a thread the needle. Maybe a Baddha Konasana. And the yoga practice is there so that you can check in every day with, yes, how the body's feeling, but also how the breath is feeling and how that internal spark, that awareness is feeling. And so as you're guided by me into a practice, you honor your body as it moves through space. Slowly start to find your way arriving towards Shavasana. And if you're switching sides on something, give yourself a couple breaths there. When you do arrive in your Shavasana, let your body completely drop. Let the shoulders soften. Let the jaw soften. Let everything release. Slowly start to deepen your breath. When you're ready, reach the arms all the way up and overhead and give yourself a really nice, big, long stretch. And exhale. Bend your knees and gently roll yourself over to the right side. And press yourself up to a seated position. No matter what the external world is going through, your internal compass is your guide. So sometimes when we get lost, we need to seek what's happening outside, but closing off those senses and listening within is a sharper tune. So just take a moment to honor yourself for showing up and tuning within. Even if some days it seems a little fuzzy. Bring your hands together. May there be peace in our hearts. May there be peace in our homes. And may there be peace in this world. Namaste, everybody.